Hello students, I am Sujata Paunikar from Department of Electrical Engineering, AISSMS, IOIT Pune. Today's topic of discussion is hysteresis characteristics of ferromagnetic material. Contents of the session are spontaneous magnetization, hysteresis characteristics of ferromagnetic material, experimental setup, retentivity and coercive force concept, soft and hard magnetic material. What is spontaneous magnetization? This spontaneous magnetization characteristic is shown by ferromagnetic material. Spontaneous magnetization is the appearance of ordered spin state, that is magnetic property, at zero applied magnetic field in a ferromagnetic or ferrimagnetic material below a critical point called Curie temperature. What does it mean? It means materials which shows continuous magnetism in the absence of magnetic field or external applied force below critical temperature. Here in the figure you can see those materials which are ferromagnetic in nature. They show spontaneous magnetism or permanent magnetism in the absence of field also. Ferromagnetic material exhibit parallel alignment of moments resulting in large net magnetization even in the absence of magnetic field. The elements like ferrous or iron, nickel, cobalt are many and many of their alloys are typically ferromagnetic material. They are good magnetic materials. Two distinct characteristics of ferromagnetic material is spontaneous magnetization and magnetic ordering temperature. Next property of ferromagnetic material is formation of hysteresis loop or BH curve. Hysteresis means lagging behind. So what is lagging behind in ferromagnetic material? Ferromagnetic material shows flux density B lags behind applied magnetic field H, or when it is subjected to alternating field B lags H. The BH curve is generally used to describe the non-linear behavior of magnetization that a ferromagnetic material obtains in response to an applied magnetic field. A hysteresis loop shows the relationship between the induced magnetic flux density B and the magnetizing force H. It is often referred to as BH loop. This is referred to as the point of retentivity on the graph and indicates the remanence or residual magnetism in material. Let's see the experimental setup of hysteresis curve. In the laboratory, we can take iron core and wound a copper coil on the iron core and give the frequency and the supply from the function generator and connect two probes to the CRO. One will indicate voltage, the other will show the reflection of current. So there will be graph of the hysteresis. So the current input is directly proportional to the magnetizing force, that is H, by the formula H is equal to Ni by L. So that will form x-axis, that is H. On the y-axis there will be flux density and voltage is proportional to the flux density. So this B will be on the y-axis of the CRO and H will be on the x-axis of the CRO. If you are going to give DC supply, then you need to connect this switch so that you can reverse the supply. Hysteresis loop is always obtained because of the reversal of the supply. Let's see how the hysteresis loop are formed after the experiment performed. This is the hysteresis characteristic, which shows that flux density on the y-axis and magnetizing force on h-axis. This is a non-linear characteristics. I will explain you how the hysteresis loop is formed. As the magnetizing force, that is H, increases linearly from the origin O to the point A. So that point A is called as saturation point, because even though after you will increase the H, there is no increase in the magnetic flux density. because all the dipoles are oriented and aligned in one direction. So there is no increase in magnetization. That is called a saturation point. Now if you will decrease H from this point to the origin back, ideally it is expected that this point A should travel back to the origin in the same direction. But it does not happen because dipoles are not get continuous random orientation at the point 0 as per the decrease in H. They will travel the path from A to B, right? So even though the magnetizing force H is 0, there is residual magnetism up to the point B, and this point OB is called as retentivity of the material or residual magnetism in ferromagnetic material. It shows that even though external field is removed, in the absence of external magnetizing force, there is magnetism which is remaining, that is called as permanent magnetism, retentivity or residual magnetism. To completely demagnetize that material, the magnetizing force is applied in the negative direction or in the reverse direction, and as it is increased in the reverse direction, at the point C we will get zero magnetism remain in the material. So at the point C there is magnetism, that is B, flux density will become 0, and this point, that is OC, on the x-axis is called as coercive force, which is required to demagnetize the magnet or ferromagnetic material. If we will increase this further in the negative direction, we will again get saturation point in the opposite direction. To show this, we can see point O to D is the saturation happen at the point D. Again, to demagnetize magnet in the reverse direction, coercive force has to be applied in the reverse way. So this will be OF is again coercive force. And this is how the loop is completed, and it's called as hysteresis loop. Here you can see this is a graph between B, that is flux density, versus H, that is magnetizing force. And the point OB is called as retentivity or residual magnetism. A point is called as saturation point, and OC is called as coercive force. This figure shows the alignment of dipoles at the every point. That is, initially dipoles are randomly arranged. As soon as magnetic force increases, dipoles are aligned in one direction, and it will show very good magnetic properties, and it is completely magnetized. After this, there is no alignment increase, so this is called as saturation point. Even though you will increase H, there is no increase in the magnetization. This point is called as retentivity or residual magnetism. When driving magnetic field drops to 0, the ferromagnetic material retains a considerable degree of magnetization. This is useful as a magnetic memory device. So this is used as a memory for the data devices in the computers and other. Again, to reverse or demagnetize the material, coercive force is applied, and whatever is the alignment orientation which is got at this point will get disturbed, and they will become randomly aligned or random direction. Few points about the retentivity we can summarize. When a magnetic material is placed in an external magnetic field, its grains get oriented in the direction of magnetic field, which result in magnetization of material in the direction of external magnetic field. Now, even after removal of external magnetic field, that is H, on the x-axis, some magnetization exists, which is called residual magnetism, and this is what is used for the hard magnets or permanent magnets or memory devices. This property of material is called magnetic retentivity of material. A hysteresis loop or BH curve magnetization, B suffix R in below hysteresis loop represents the residual magnetism of material. Coercive force. Due to retentivity of material, even after removal of external magnetic field, that is absence of magnetic field, still some magnetization retain in the material. This magnetism is called residual magnetism of material. To remove this residual magnetization, we have to apply some external magnetic field in opposite direction. This external magnetic force, ampere turns, required to overcome the residual magnetism or to demagnetize the material is called as coercive force of material. In the above hysteresis loop shown in the figure, Hc represents on the x-axis coercive force. The material having large value of residual magnetization and coercive force are called as magnetically hard materials. The materials having very low value of residual magnetism and coercive force are called as magnetically soft material. So what is hard magnetic material? More coercive force and more residual magnetism. And soft magnetic force, narrow loop or less retentivity. Losses in magnetic circuit. So the area which is inside the hysteresis loop is called as hysteresis loss or heat loss or power heat loss. The energy dissipated as heat in the process of magnetization and demagnetization, which is proportional to the area of hysteresis loop. Soft magnetic materials with low hysteresis loss, such as silicon steel, are usually used in the course of electrical machines like motors, generators, and transformer. So, all the electrical appliances like motor, generator, transformer has iron core or poles. So hysteresis loss exists over there. That hysteresis loss or heat loss formula is given by Kh B raised to 1.6 F, and it is in watts. Kh is the hysteresis constant, B is the flux density of the material chosen for that core, and F is the frequency applied. Let's see energy dissipation. Energy dissipation, three loops are shown. Here first loop shows permanent magnet and it is used in a magnetic recording and memory devices. Here you can see the hysteresis loop is larger. So advantage of this is it is having good memory because retentivity is there. This area of hysteresis loop is relatively narrower than the first one. And the last one is used for the transformer and generator motor cores to minimize the hysteresis loss, because there we don't want any memory storage. We want to reduce the losses so that efficiency will increase, and so that soft magnetic materials are used here. And all this hysteresis loop exists because rapidly reversing of the magnetization. Here hysteresis loop BH curve is shown. It shows the graph between M or B versus H, and the red color loop is for the hard magnetic material and the black color narrower loop is for the soft magnetic material. So soft magnetic material can easily magnetize and demagnetize. So they are used in inductor, transformer core and recording devices. Hard magnetic material needs more energy to demagnetize, so they are difficult to demagnetize, and they can be used for the recording media and permanent magnet. What is the difference between soft magnet and hard magnet? Soft magnet has low coercive force, high magnetic permeability, whereas hard magnet has high coercive force and high retentivity. Soft magnet shows smaller hysteresis loss because that loop is narrower, and hard magnet shows large hysteresis loss. Applications of soft magnetic materials are cores for electromagnet, electric motors, transformer, generators, and other electrical equipment. Hard magnet has applications including fractional horsepower motors, automobiles, audio and video recorders, earphones, computer peripherals, and clocks. Example of soft magnetic material are ingot iron, low carbon steel, silicon iron. Whereas hard magnets are cobalt steel, tungsten steel, ferrite, barium oxide and alnico. Next property of ferromagnetic material is Curie point or critical temperature. Curie temperature at which certain magnetic material undergo a sharp change in the magnetic properties and they lose their permanent magnetic properties. So it shows that whenever you are going to increase the temperature subjected to the ferromagnetic material, they will show certain behavior. At a particular temperature point called as critical temperature or Curie point, after that if you will increase the temperature, magnetism will be loosened or there is no magnetic properties. It will act as a paramagnetic material. So here it is shown by the diagram. Below critical temperature, if your magnet is subjected for the in the span of working, all the dipoles are aligned in one direction. So they are working as a magnet. But after critical temperature decided for that material given by the manufacturer, if you will increase the temperature, then all the dipoles will get randomly arranged and it will lose magnetic properties and it will act as a paramagnet or like a wood, plastic and copper. Thank you all. Thank you for watching.